Welcome to the show. I'm here on Forza Horizon 2 with some more silly car rallycross. My vehicle today is the Alfa Romeo Giulia TZ2, a fantastic looking classic racing vehicle that, I wanted another very high powered, very lightweight vehicle, and I realised I hadn't done a silly build on this car, so I'm going to give it a go. I do like these classic Alfas. This and the 33 Stradale are some fantastic handling cars. Normally when built to around A class, they tend to be very nice nice cars to drive. When it's up to S2 class, I'm not quite so sure that it's going to be easy to drive. As far as engines go, well, we don't have the standard Alfa engine. We've got a 4.5 litre V8 from, I believe, the Ferrari 458 Italia. 914 horsepower in this car, so there is plenty of power. Fair amount of torque as well, 615, and it doesn't weigh very much at all, 1,600 pounds. It may be heavier than the Lotus 11 we had last time, yes, but it's not by a huge amount, and we have got more power in this as well, so I expect this to be a pretty damn quick car. On the plus side, we do have some better tyres. We have some much nicer tyres on the Alfa Romeo. 285s on the rear. Admittedly, they are not the largest tyres, and they're not as large as the tyres that I would like to have on a 900 horsepower car with this little weight, but they're still fairly sizable. Certainly a lot bigger than the Lotuses, and again, we've got decent sized front tyres as well on this car, and I'm thinking it's still going to struggle with power delivery, yes, but it's better than it could have been anyway. Also, the front splitter is huge on this car. From the tiny little one that we had on the Lotus, we've got this massive, great big thing on here. Everything on the car is completely maxed out, and so we have, you know, it's as light as we can get it, and so on. Now, one thing that did slightly concern me about when building this car is notice how little the PI goes up when you add, let's say, okay, we're talking about 55 horsepower here. 1 PI. 1 PI difference when you're adding on that much power. Now, what that suggests to me, if we go to turbos, I assume it's going to be similar things. It's 3 PI for 122 horsepower. Now, in fact, actually, that's increased. It's better to have it with much less power. So the stats say that what this says to me is that the car has got too much power to be useful. It's got so much power that we're actually going to have problems delivering it to the road, which is kind of what we expected from this car. But it will look very good while not delivering any of its power to the road. Anyway, we shall go to our test track, our rallycross track with this vehicle. I've just seen how low the exhaust is on the side of the car. That is going to be a real problem. Can we get a better angle for this? Probably not. That exhaust there is not going to have a fun time. In fact, I would be amazed if that exhaust survived the entire journey, but never mind. We will go to the test track that we use, the Backroads Brawl circuit. Here we go, where I will have 6 laps to try and set as fast a lap time as possible. Our current leader is the Maserati Gibble with a 53.788. I'm not sure. I don't think this Alfa Romeo is going to beat the Maserati, but I do think it'll be better to drive than the Lotus 11. I think it could perhaps challenge the Dodge Charger. The Dodge sits in second with a 54.796. I'm thinking that is around the sort of lap time that we are going to see from the Alfa Romeo. It may surprise me. It may suddenly have lots of rear-end grip, and it may behave itself, and it may be very, very quick. I'm not sure. I don't think it's going to behave itself at all. But here we go. How do we fare off the line? We're not too bad. We're not too bad off the line as we come through. Admittedly, this first part is the tarmac section, and now it's all about to get very, very bumpy for the little Alfa Romeo. We're okay. We're not okay. We're on the we're in the shrubbery. Oh. No, careful does it through here, or not careful does it at all. It's not much better than the Lotus, I will be honest. The Alfa, there is not a huge amount more grip than in fact, I'm not sure if there is any more grip than in the Lotus. Oh, get on the road. Nope, bad Alfa Romeo. I'm trying to keep it. It's very, very twitchy. Even keeping it in 4th gear, far too high a gear if this was on a tarmac circuit. It just wants to spin. It's not the spinning the wheels is actually the biggest problem here. It's the, whoa, it's that. That's the bigger issue I'm having. The car is actually very, very twitchy. We're not sort of spinning out in the same way. I'm sure if I do something stupid with the throttle, we will spin out in the same way that I spun the Lotus 11 quite a lot. It's the fact that, we're all out of shape. Just take out all the barriers, it's fine. It's not the wheel spin that's the big issue with this car. It's that it's getting, or if it does get a tiny bit of wheel spin, it suddenly becomes very, very twitchy, and trying to fight it and get it back on the course. That's what we're struggling with. Okay, nope. We're playing in some more trees. Weird. No, we're not fine. There's a big jump there that I didn't quite expect the car to get. I'm just going to leave it in 4th. 4th gear seems to work for around these parts. Now we're getting the hang of it a little bit more better, getting a little bit more speed out of the car. Again, keep it in 4th. We're already wasting enough time wheel spinning it in 4th. I'll put it down any more gears, we're going to be even worse on the wheel spin front. Trying to unleash, we can unleash a little bit more power a little bit soon. I mean, we're approaching 100 miles an hour as we took that jump, 110 across here, and we're going to try and get a little bit more speed. A 58.7 on a first flying lap. It's not too bad. That's not. Ooh, dear. We've got. May have slightly got off a bit wrong into that first corner. Just a little bit. Ugh. It's very peculiar handling going on with this. Ooh, bloody hell. No, we're not going to save that. So we're going to have to slam on the brakes. It's like you start turning into a corner and it doesn't turn at all. There's loads and loads of understeer, and all of a sudden it finds some grip, and then it's very violently turning that way. Then you've got to try and fight it to get it so that it doesn't turn too much. It's a strange handling going on in the Alfa. I'm not sure if bits of the car are catching on the floor. I don't think that's what it is. I think it's just we don't have almost a consistent level of front end grip. Sometimes we're good, sometimes we're terrible. And I can't quite figure out what it is that's causing it to do that. I think we can be a little bit better. Yeah, we can seem to put the power down a little bit better down here. Oh, we got big understeer that time. Oh, now we're over in the foliage. Right, onto the tarmacy bit. Yeah, even on this tarmacy bit, it can get a little bit twitchy. And then we'll be slow into here. There we go. No, bad Alfa, fine. 4th it is. No, get off the. Oh, good God, this just. Where are we going, car? He's just decided we're going over there. This steering is so bizarre. It feels like it's working on a delay. Like every input I'm doing is taking a few seconds for the car to calculate what it's actually going to do with that input, and then it does something completely different anyway. It's really very, very weird steering this car on the. I'm still struggling to figure out what on earth it is about it that's making it. I mean, yes, we've got silly amounts of power in a car that wasn't designed for silly amounts of power, and we're off-road for a car that wasn't at all built for going off-road. But none of the other vehicles that I've driven with silly powers and off-road have quite had this sort of weird steering, twitchy fightiness. That's the best way to explain the handling of this car. It's very, very twitchy. Oh, we're in all sorts of trouble around here. Okay, I want 3rd for this really tight hairpin just to try and get a little bit of speed out of it. Then we'll change up into 4th. Then we will try and not get all twitchy and unhappy. There we got a mile of understeer on the way into that corner, and then we'll probably get huge oversteer through another one when we suddenly get good turn in. No, there's a bump there. That's not much fun. We're okay. We're still okay. We're not going particularly quickly, but we haven't put it in the foliage. Well, okay. We're slightly put it in the foliage now, but we're alright. I thought we were going to have a big understeer off moment, but we just about got it turned. We were through the barrels without breaking stuff. It's still waiting to go on the power now. It's still waiting to go on the power. I want to try and use a bit here, but if you get it wrong, it just twitches towards a tree. Or we're using power in all the wrong place. We're slightly out wide. Run to the line. It still wasn't a particularly good lap. We're on to our final lap to try and get a lap time out of this. Still not gone quicker than a 58.7. Right, this is going to have to be one hell of a lap if I'm going to get any decent time out of this car. Oh, now we've got all that understeer coming through, and then big oversteer down the next part. Yeah, this is perhaps the most inconsistent of cars that I've driven. Like the 11 was tough to drive, but at least it was consistent. It was consistently bad. This is just all over the shop. You never know what you're going to get when you come to a corner. Oh, we're going to get big slide into this one. That's okay. I can deal with it through there, and then a short shift up into fourth. Through the barrels. We only got a cone, but we didn't actually clonk one of the barrels. Now, this is where we're losing quite a lot of tyre, as I can't get the power down soon enough. Coming down here, and then we tend to fight it. Yeah, we get some understeer. Trying to get it in line for the run to the finish line. It's still no good. 58.390. There I was thinking the Alfa could perhaps challenge the Dodge. That's 4 seconds up the road. This thing is really bizarre. It's really so inconsistent with its handling characteristics. Yeah, I've never quite driven something like this one. It goes to the bottom of our table. We're going slower with with the times of cars now. Yeah, I mean, this is almost a second. It's over a second slower than the Supra that had 1,500 horsepower. Yeah, the Alfa, a peculiar thing to drive around the Rallycross course. Never quite sure what it's going to do. But it is now time to take it for a speed run, and I think the Alfa may fare a little bit better there. So for this speed run, I'm thinking we could get some quite high speeds at the Please Don't Kill Me. Well done, Driver Tars. You managed to not hit something. I'm impressed. And oh, they've all made that corner as well. Yes, I'm thinking the Alfa could be pretty damn fast. It's got more power than the Lotus, and it's a pretty damn aerodynamical shape, this car. So I'm expecting we could get some seriously high speeds. The slight concerns, of course, are with control. Trying to keep this thing on the road may be difficult, but we will see. First thing we will do is dump the aero off the vehicle. I mean, I would expect this to perhaps be getting up towards the 250, maybe, mile-an-hour mark. Let's make some longer gear ratios. Are we going to be seeing a 253? There we go. Look at that. I'm getting good at guessing these speeds. Can we get any more out of it? Could we get... I don't think we're going to get 260. I think we're going to run out of puff at... yeah, 253 is about as good as we're going to get. I will just have a quick tinker with it. I mean, we might get 255 when it comes to going downhill. I'll tend to extend them just a little bit so that if we are going downhill, we're not buzzing in the limiter. That'll do nicely. Yeah, 255 at a straight line. Definitely possible. I'm really hoping we now have the rear end grip. We had very, very inconsistent handling, but it wasn't horrendously oversteery, at least, on the Rallycross course. Also, this weather does not look the nicest I've seen it in Horizon. I would rather it... Oh, bloody hell. We're going for a full wet weather speed run. Uh-oh. This might not end too well for the Alfa Romeo. Never mind, we're going for it. It's already feeling a little bit twitchy. It might have a bit too much front end grip here. We're going to go for a little dab on the brakes through here. Please turn. There we go. We haven't quite got the balance that I want for a speed run. In a speed run, you do not want oversteer whatsoever. Oversteer is terrible in a speed run. In general, I don't want oversteer in a race car, but for this, you don't want the back end of the car sliding around because you will lose a lot of time. Also, this Alfa Romeo has the most useless windscreen wiper in history. Oh, that was a very brief rain shower, that one. No, bad Alfa. Really very bad Alfa. There we go, we're fine. We're on 2 wheels at one point. Nope. Ugh. Don't do that, car. Please don't spin the wheels up when I have to deal with bumps. Yeah, I don't like the balance at all. It's just... Oh, the back end is just one of the... Bloody hell, where's all this traffic coming from? This is definitely the busiest speedrun. Holy crap, I don't know what I found out there. I found some dust and dirt, I think. We suddenly got a massive kick of oversteer, and again, we're fighting and fighting. The car is wibbling and wobbling around. I don't like this Alfa particularly. I don't really like it. As fantastic a car as is to look at, when it comes to the driving bits, it's kind of scary. No, getting off the dirt. Oh, bloody hell. This thing is terrifying. Okay, we're on to the final run down the hill. There's so much traffic going on all of a sudden. Ooh, I'm sorry, Mercedes. Well, we might have blown it. I was trying to fit up the inside. This car just does not have the grip that I want. The rain is sort of here and there. No, bad Alfa. This is such a tough car to drive at these speeds. It really does not like it. No, off the grass. Don't get twitchy and horrible. 242 miles an hour, even with that clonk on the Mercedes. I can't change direction quickly because I will just spin. And the rain's coming again. We're going to get to about 250 miles an hour, but we're going to run out of motorway at 251. Oh, we're going for a break there. Yeah, we're going to slightly scrape the guardrail. This is perhaps one of the scariest cars I think I've had to drive down the motorway. There is not the rear end is far too lively. It gets twitchy at times, and that makes the oversteer even worse. Coupled with not really liking the bumps and intermittent showers. This is not an easy car to drive. It is a very quick car though, at 251 miles an hour. That's still a hell of a lot of straight line speed. But not the vehicle that I would take if I was trying to. There are much easier cars to drive that can get up to. The Supra was a hell of a lot nicer to drive at 270 miles an hour than this thing was. There's some inconsistencies in the handling of this car. I'm not sure what it is about it that makes it unhappy. But yeah, this is a tough car to drive. It's just, you're never quite sure what it's going to do when it comes to a corner, whether that be on the dirt or whether that be on the motorway at 200 miles an hour and there's an AI in front of you. But there we go, that is it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and till next time, goodbye.